being your personal assistant, I think is the best offering of Samsung. And if you've been using S25 Ultra, you would know what I'm talking about. What's up, gang? Boy G here, back in another video. So I've been using this Galaxy S25 Ultra for a couple of weeks now. As some of you might know that my beloved S22 Ultra is now dead, right? Again, gonna miss you, bro. But my S22 Ultra just died a couple of weeks ago. It just like, froze and then crashed and then got stuck on boot loop and cannot really boot up anymore. Now, watch out, by the way, for the Galaxy S22 Ultra, S22 users out there, because I've read in Google, right? It's actually from official forum of Samsung. There's a lot of people, a lot of S22 users that are reporting for issues similar to mine, right? I'm going to, put a link down below in the description. So go ahead and check it out if you're S22 users. But, they encountered some issues and a lot of phone actually died, and they're kind of like pointing finger to that One UI 6.1 update as well. So Samsung hasn't really made any official announcement or whatever. Of course, they're probably gonna deny that, but yeah, just giving you some caution there. If you want to check it out, I'm going to put that on the description below. But yeah, today I want to talk about S25 Ultra because I've been using it for a couple of weeks now and have some thoughts. Actually, I lied. I have a lot of thoughts about it, right? Course, again, comparing it to my beloved S22 Ultra, to my wife's iPhone 14 Pro Max, and even to Xiaomi Note 14 that I purchased recently. So I have a lot of thoughts. So sit back and relax. This video will be pretty long. But yeah, I would like to share you my experience as a consumer. This is not a sponsored video or anything. It's just my overall thoughts on Galaxy S25 Ultra. By the way, I'm using it right now. That's why I don't have it in my hand. I'm using it to capture video right now on a log mode. Let me go ahead and grab that right now so we can properly review this thing. I got a case, Rinke Fusion X case, transparent back with a D brand skin there. That is the D brand Carnage, right? If you're interested, I'm going to put it down below. None of this stuff are sponsored, by the way. This video is not sponsored in any way. Today we're going to talk about a couple of things, right? 5 specific things. First is I'm going to discuss the price and value, right? Like, go a little bit deep on the price and value of this one, and then we're going to talk about physical looks and dimension, how it feels, and then One UI and performance, right? It's kind of like the speed of it, how good it is. Camera, of course, kind of big deal, right? So we're going to talk about camera as well. And again, my overall thoughts, and of course, overall thoughts, right? I'm going to give you my overall thoughts about it and comparison to those mobile phones that I mentioned, right? Also, my overall thoughts comparing this phone to Oppo, Vivo, Xiaomi's, right? Those stuff, iPhones. I'm going to compare that and give you my honest thoughts about it. All right, let's talk about price, right? Price, very, very interesting. Price of this, as far as I know, is about $12.99, right? It's even a little bit expensive than iPhone right now. Now, it may vary with countries, right, and places, but personally, on the prices itself of the phones nowadays, I don't think anyone should be buying such price, right? A mobile phone like this on such price for cash, right? So let me just clarify that, the white there. This is $12.99, right? Again, $1,200, $300. That's a lot of money, right? And in Philippines, my country, right? I'm located in Manila right now. That is actually a ton of money. And as far as I know, this is also 512 gig version, right? 512, and I believe it has 12 gigabyte of RAM, all of them. But this S22 Ultra with 512 gigabyte of storage is costing around 80,000 here in Philippines, right? 80,000 pesos. Pesos. I can even see it go about 90,000 pesos, Philippine pesos. They might even like mark up the price unreasonably, right? Probably like even 100,000 pesos. So, this is a mobile phone, right? It's just, primarily your gadgets, of course, going to be your all-rounder, but 100,000, right? 1,200, $1,300. It's I think too much of a cash, right? Now, that's the deal of a cash, right? Most of the users, such as myself, I don't really buy this in cash, right? We do have number one, for example, one of the reason why you need to buy this, right? Or you can buy it, or just to justify the buying of this is the trade in of Samsung. If you've been using S22 Ultra, S23, S24, right, and it's still working, it's pretty good, you can actually swap them to Samsung, right? Samsung shop, Samsung store, in order to trade in, right? You can just trade it in and they will give you this for a lot cheaper, right? Probably 700 bucks, 800. It depends on the unit that you have for swap, but that is a really good deal instead of like buying, a lower price phone and then, selling your old one. We can of course go in that route as well. Second is for the price and the value. One option is of course getting this from postpaid plan, right? You're gonna buy this monthly. I think even in the entire world, right, anywhere, any country in the world, that's the primary means of purchasing these mobile phones. Because I mean, come to think about it, who's gonna buy 12.99 of a mobile, right? 100,000 pesos of a mobile, just cash in. I mean, of course, maybe rich people do, but yeah, use your postpaid plan, right? Monthly payment, down payment, stuff like that. That's the way to go. But if you're gonna purchase them cash, it's a big no for me. It's just too expensive. Now, that is one of the things that I would like to discuss to you later on as well, comparing this to Xiaomi, Oppo, and the likes of that. But to cut it short, really quick, right now, to give you an idea of basically my thoughts about it, at least here in Philippines, right? At least here in Philippines, we have telecommunication here, such as Globe and Smart Communications. If you go to their website, if you go to their services, of course, like I'm pretty sure, like many other countries, their primary product offering, right? Their primary offering is either iPhone or Samsung for their plan, right? For the postpaid plans, device plans. iPhone, Samsung, and maybe some of the top dogs of others as well. But you won't really see a lot of Vivos, a lot of Oppos, particularly on the flagship. They might offer that on their lower tier plan, right? Where they can just give the device for free. You don't have to pay a cash out or a down payment. But those are like the mid range, even lower range product of those China phones, right? Chinese phones, Oppo, Vivo, Xiaomi. Now, let me talk about value real quick. The problem about that is this is again a really expensive phone, right? Like iPhone, but then you'll be able to get it, installment, right, on a plan on a postpaid, right? That means you're gonna save a lot of money, and you're not gonna have to cash out a huge amount of money, right? To kind of like hustle yourself, spend so much of a money. You're not going to really feel that because it's either going to be, even paid by your company, right? Like what I do, like what I have, as a mobile allowance, or others, again, monthly salary. It's not really big deal. However, right? However, if you opt to get the Xiaomi, the Oppo, the Vivo, you might think that they're actually cheaper, right? Because they're just like $1,000, 1,100, right? Some of them 900 or something like that. You might think they're cheaper, but then they're not being offered by your telecommunication companies here on your country. Again, it depends, right? I'm talking about Philippines, primarily here, primarily on Philippines. But imagine if they're not offered by telecommunication company, and the only way to get them is to buy them, file a loan or whatever you can do, swap it in your credit card. It doesn't matter. But still, you have to buy those stuff on a cash, right? On a huge amount of money. If you think about it, buying this on a plan being paid by your company or whoever, right? Over 2 years contract or something, compared to buying a Xiaomi, for example, Xiaomi 15 or Vivo X200, if you really love that, you actually spend more, right? Because you have to cash out more on those devices. Again, unless they're of course offered by your telecommunication. And guess what? I will tackle this later on, but it's it's extremely difficult to resell, right? Or not even resell. It's very difficult to sell those devices when it's already time for you to upgrade again, to move on. Let me show you real quick. So this is a Redmi 14 Pro Plus, right? This is kind of like the flagship of the mid-range, right? If that makes sense, because Xiaomi has Redmi Note 14, one version, and then there's like 14 Pro, another one, then 14 Pro Plus. So I just purchased this about almost a month ago, right? 3 weeks, 2 weeks and a half, 3 weeks and a couple of days. I bought this about 3 weeks ago for about $430, right? 435 US dollars to be specific. And I've been trying to sell it, right? After 2 weeks, because I got my Ultra, my Samsung Galaxy Ultra. I've been trying to sell it after 2 weeks. I haven't even used it that much yet, right? It's kind of like brand new. It even has a sticker on the back of it. It's perfect, right? I've been trying to sell it, but no one is really interested in getting it. And the ones that do, they want to get this around $200 only. Can you believe that? So again, I purchased this for about $430 US dollars, right? I'm just converting my pesos here. But then, Filipino people, right? The buyers here, one wants to buy this for about $200 only. That is even like more than half of it, right? And that's the bad thing about this kind of like phones. To give you an example or my thoughts on it and the price of the value of Samsung and iPhone, particularly why you're buying them, you will find the day that you will have to upgrade your phone. You're just excited for a new phone, right? You're gonna change phone and whatnot, and you need to sell your old one in order to fund your new phone. For Samsung and iPhones, their value is pretty good, right? Their value stays really high, relatively high. I was able to sell my S20, Galaxy S20, Galaxy S22, Galaxy, or sorry, Galaxy S20, Galaxy S8, S10. I believe those are the phones that I've used before. So S8, S10, and then S22 or S20 before I move on to S22 that died on me. I was actually able to sell all of those phones, including an iPhone that we also had before, iPhone 12 Pro Max, right? We're able to sell them relatively high, really, really good value, really, really good resale value. So it's not unfair for us. But then I just bought this damn Xiaomi phone 2 weeks and people are already lowballing me half the price. It's unbelievable, right? One thing is, Xiaomi themselves kind of like cut the price right away. They just released that phone January as well, February, in the same month, right? I purchased the phone on kind of like the same month when it was released. But Xiaomi, the China phone, they already cut the price of that one to give way to their Xiaomi 15, right? So again, I'm just I'm just kind of like describing you why Samsung value S25 Ultra and of course iPhone as well is actually better in the long run, compared to those Chinese phone that might seem good at the moment, purchasing them, but you'll actually spend more because you cannot really even sell them, properly. Remember this, for Vivo, Xiaomi, Oppo, those again, even OnePlus, again, it depends on the country. Nobody wants them, right? Nobody that has money wants them because again, those rich people, those those that has money, or the top of the chain, they kind of probably wanted iPhones, right? The best of the best, Samsung, and those people that are really technical, or those people that wanted the great camera and Xiaomi, great camera and Vivo, because again, we're going to talk about that later on, great performance, they know what they want, right? Xiaomi, Vivo. Problem is they're not willing to, to purchase those on a high price, because again, that's the reason why they're like buying those stuff, right? They're kind of like cheaper. So if you resell them, nobody will buy it, right? Because the people that are interested for them doesn't have any money to purchase them on their original SRP, or at least close to that. Those who have money are not looking for Xiaomi's. They're looking for iPhone and Samsung. And those that has money, they will never buy it near the SRP. So it's gonna be lose to you if you purchase that and you plan to sell that in the future, right? It's okay to buy those devices if you're not gonna sell them, right? If it's okay for you to sell like a 450 US dollars after 2 weeks for just $200 right away, make sure you purchase this not cash, right? Either on a contract or a plan, because cash for S25 Ultra is just too damn high, right? It's too much of a money. I talked about this quickly on my previous unboxing video, but it actually looks really, really different, right? At least feels different from my old S22 Ultra that is curved in front and the back and stuff like that. This one is just boxy everywhere. And initially, I kind of like, meh about it. I didn't really hate it, but I know I had to get used to it because it's a little bit lighter and it feels tremendously different, right? For the grip. And on my surprise, putting a grip on it or putting a case such as this ring kit definitely change the feeling of it. It depends on your cases, but I put this one and it looks totally different. The camera is also, the camera array is actually bigger. If you notice, this is my, let me see, let me try my best if I can put them side by side. But look at the camera of my S22 Ultra there. It's actually teeny compared to the camera of the S25 Ultra, right? The S25 Ultra is just a little bit bigger, at least I think the ring outside, and they rocked a new 50 megapixel ultra wide camera there compared to the old one. Definitely looks good. Definitely feel premium. It's very, very delicate. Of course, again, my wife has an iPhone. They're not the same feeling. iPhone is very like kind of like solid, like rock, or glass. This one looks, it's kind of like, it feels different. It feels premium and delicate, right? So you really have to rock a case like this one. Again, this one is from Rinky. Again, this is not a sponsored video. I purchased this Rinky, again, ring on the back just so I have something to fidget or something about it. And again, it's connected to, or it's using a skin from D brand. That is the Carnage, right? Skin. I really love that. Looks amazing. And this case is absolutely amazing. If you notice, you cannot really see any part of that titanium, borders. It's well hidden. See that? Titanium is well hidden there, and it's higher here and here, so it's definitely protecting that from falling. And I'll give you one tip as well to make the magnet super strong. I cannot really demonstrate you the magnet right now, but it's ridiculously strong. This Ringke Fusion X case already have a MagSafe ring inside, but it's inside the case, right? The acrylic, it's inside, so it's smooth outside. You can't really touch it. What I did is I just added a ring there. That's just like a magnetic ring again that I have, and that actually made it tremendously strong, especially when you put it on a wireless MagSafe charger, right? Like, it's not gonna fall. It's just ridiculously strong. But anyway, yeah, that's the physical look after I put a case on it. And again, Ringke case, Fusion case. I also tried a different case. There's one case that I really, really love. A look at the protection for the camera. So just, I just want to show you that. I just saw that from Lazada, from some online shop as well. One case that I've been using before the Ringke, and I absolutely love that as well. So if your hands is small, you're gonna have a problem with this, right? Because my hands is already big, but I had to use this because it's very, very difficult to kind of like grip it all the time, especially texting or using it lying on the bed, right? So it's quite a big phone. It's for people who prefer bigger phones. All right, let me talk about One UI and its overall performance and speed. This is ridiculously fast, right? Ridiculously fast. Again, I'll be using the S22 Ultra, and I know it's already fast. However, I know that iPhones are always like the best, right? For the speed. I don't know what's up with iPhones, right? But they're just really, really fast, right? Their animation's pretty slow. They're kind of like hiding some of the sluggishness, right? It's probably not sluggishness, just some speed on the animation. But for overall speed, iPhone is the king, as far as I know before. However, iPhone is very, very intelligent in doing stuff, actually. It's very harsh as well. It closes apps right away that you're not using. It has focus mode. It's not going to use the messaging, or it's not going to accept any messages or alert you if you're using other apps. iPhone is very restrictive, right? Not to offend iOS users out there. Of course, my wife and my kid is using iPhone, but that's why they're kind of fast, because the iOS is just very, very smart, but sometimes uh intrusive already, right? Or restrictive. S25 Ultra is ridiculously like just horsepower fast. It's ridiculously fast. I don't know if this will make sense, but sometimes I open apps like Lazada or Instagram or anything, and it feels like they open before I even like open them completely. However, they're not on the memory. I just close them, right? So I don't know how can I describe it. So for example, right now there's no running app. If you notice, right? It says no running app. But look at this. If I will open Lazada, for example, get one, go to Lazada. Let's see how fast that will be there. Look at that. It looks like it's already open, right? You didn't really see it load or did anything. It's just there super quick, right? Let me load notes, for example. Look at that. And they're closed before, right? There's no open apps before. And it's almost like that. Even I close them and then open it, it seems that they're already there. It's just so fast. This Galaxy Snapdragon 8 Elite 4 Galaxy is actually very fast. Not only it's overclocked, but it actually has some optimization exclusively for Samsung. If you want to get the best of the best of the Snapdragon 8 Elite, Samsung is where you get it at, right? It has a Samsung or Galaxy version, and it's ridiculously fast. Now I thought it's just initial, without software or something. So what I did is I just like installed a lot of software, a lot of things, a lot of files on this one, and no change. It's ridiculously fast. Of course, I cannot tell, after a year or so if it's gonna be the same. I have the confidence they're going to be the same, but it's a different conversation, right? Maybe in when that time I can create a review again about it. But for now, the performance of this is amazing. The UI is ridiculously great. I thought it's just going to be the same like my S22 Ultra. It's actually not, right? A little bit looks like iPhone. You will think that it looks like it's iPhone, but it's actually not, right? It still has its own thing. It's just that you know it's kind of like getting closer to iPhone. I can argue that it definitely feels different, right? It's not like iPhone. My Xiaomi 14, the Hyper OS, looks more iPhone than this one, but it feels like Samsung, right? It feels like Samsung Android phone, and I absolutely love that about it, because again, no offense with iOS user, I just really hate iOS for some reason. I'm a power user. I'm always like holding my phone doing stuff, and I just hate iOS, right? When I'm using my wife's iOS, you know, I cannot like use it for a longer amount of period. I get bored, and it's like I can't do anything on this one. But this is amazing. I love it. Of course, you still have the S Pen on this one. you know, no Bluetooth, right? I thought it's gonna be big deal. It's actually a big deal if I keep thinking about it, right? Because I missed the Bluetooth on my S Pen on my S22 Ultra. But however, right now they added some stuff like you can say like smile or something, right? So I don't know if it's gonna work there. That is a selfie, smile. See that? So it's taking a picture if you say smile, right? So, you know, um, you can just yell outside the smile and it's gonna take a timer, 2 seconds timer, and take a picture of you. Or again, you can just simply use this one. So for selfie, you can just hold it perfectly like that, push a button or timer or whatever. So it's not really biggie, Again, if I think about it, no Bluetooth and S Pen anymore. Bummer. However, what I noticed is on my S22 Ultra, I think I used the S Pen exclusively for that, for the Bluetooth. That's the only time that when I pull it out. So right now that it doesn't have a Bluetooth anymore, I don't use it. Right? Just to be frank, I don't use it. To be fair, I've been using this for a couple of weeks only. So maybe in the future, at least at least I have that just in case that my kid, borrows this and wanted to doodle something, or maybe I will doodle something in the future. But right now, I'm not using S Pen. I'm not. I find no use on it whatsoever. Galaxy AI. Let me talk about Galaxy AI. There's a lot of Galaxy AI stuff on this one, and I don't think I can even cover all of this. Especially on this video. But some things that I really love about it is number one, summarization on a website, right? I don't have that on my Xiaomi Note 14, although that has Gemini, so some kind of like AI as well. But I don't have that. But here I do have that. So whenever you go to a website, you just click the AI on the bottom, the Galaxy AI, and then select like summarize, right? It's just gonna summarize everything on that website and tell you what you need to know. It's just a game changer for me because it's gonna save you a ton of time, right? And also one thing that I also found really helpful is translate. I found myself browsing on some Russian, or different language website, and Google Translate is very, very difficult to pull that way before. I just click that Samsung AI on down the bottom and select translate, and it actually translate the entire website, right? So it translated the entire website, every bit and pieces, even some label and pictures. It translated all of them into English. I was actually blown away when I found that out. So that is really, really cool. Now there's a lot of other assistive that I'm not using yet. Again, time will tell if I'll be able to use them. But one big thing on the uh the removal of or the generative, right? That's one thing that actually amazed me. So I'll just edit this and put this video here and show you what I'm talking about. All right, and you know what? That's what I love about it. It's very, very intelligent in detecting the object that I want to be gone, right? So let's try remove that. Let's see if it can actually do the job. Adding the missing places, sculpting new. So what in the yeah, world? That yeah, I think that's one of the things that I really love about the AI. It's the generative edit for the photos. So if you have photo bombers, if you have items to remove, um, it's it's really good. Of course, not perfect. I would like to say it's perfect, but compared to other stuff like my wife's iPhone or even Xiaomi, man, it's like leagues ahead. I can remove stuff like what you've noticed, and it's amazing. And I find it really helpful when we're out and about, and I took like a picture. There's a lot of photo bombers, background people, whatever. When you actually hit that, when you actually go to the AI, it will already detect those photo bombers, scan them, and offer if you want to delete them. So it's just basically like one click. When you click that generative AI or generative edit, it's just gonna wipe out all of those photo bombers, and it's very, very clean. Again, like what you noticed earlier, very, very clean. It removes shadows, reflections, stuff like that, which is actually kind of like scary at times, right? That's amazing because it's really, really clean looking, right? Unlike my old S22 or Xiaomi or other, It does it by smudging, like the iPhone. Smudging is really, really ugly. But that's one thing that I really love about the AI. There'll be a time that you will need something, and Samsung will be there to give you that, right? So, for example, oh, I'm on this situation where I need to translate this Korean to English or something. Samsung is like, they're like, hey, I have that tool. Would you like to use that? Hey, I have a photo bombers, I need to remove. Hey, I'm here. Would you like to do that? Hey, this website is very long. I need to like, summarize this. I am there. Would you like me to summarize that? Would you like me to summarize what you have? It's just it's just a really, really cool assistant, right? I think this is like the epitome of the smartphone, right? To be honest, when they announced this AI stuff before, I'm kind of like, meh, I'm not really gonna use them. But right now that I'm using them, it's kind of like they, these are the things that actually defines what smartphone should be, right? Beyond camera, beyond social media, which we use this all the time. This is just legitimately smart. So I'll give you a couple examples, right? The now brief, right? So it has a now brief, if you notice there. So it says evening brief. This is a dynamic stuff. It changes whenever, depending on the time. So look at this right now. So it's gonna give you the weather, right? If I'm interested in the weather tomorrow, would like to run outside, so I would know right away, and this evening as well. And then it's gonna give you your activity. I don't know if you can see that on the bottom. So it's gonna say that the day's not over yet. I haven't been active today. And then more importantly, is it's always giving me my sleep there on Snap and this energy ranking. So look at that. More sleep needed. Now that's what I'm talking about. It's about health, right? So I'm using a watch here, a Galaxy Watch, and what happens, of course, it's tracking my sleep and whatever. And the Now Brief, I thought it's gimmicky, right? I'm not gonna use it. Believe it or not, Now Brief is probably, or is it now? Yeah, Evening Brief. Yeah, the Now Brief is probably one of the most used app or feature AI stuff that I have on my phone. Right, that is huge for me. I thought I'm not gonna use it, but I found myself every now and then clicking on this and checking what's up, right? If I have appointment, right? So it's done right now, but earlier we had an appointment from our solar panels to be clean, and it's already there. It says that you have an appointment with cleaning and maintenance, 8 o'clock in the morning. You have this appointment calendar. It's just really, really smart, and I love that it's just on one page. I don't need to do a lot of pages. I don't need to go to the calendars, to the alarms, to the health app. Everything is in there, and it's just amazing, right? I don't have that in my Xiaomi. I don't even have that in my old S20, the old of course I don't have that on my iPhone, or the iPhone of my wife. And I think it's actually a game changer, particularly for the health, right? It's, sleep is a constant problem for me, right? I'm a hypertensive guy, and of course, it's stress, jobs, and all. So this one is actually helping me, kind of like almost forcing me to have at least 7 hours of sleep, because when 10 p.m. hits, it even goes to sleep mode right away automatically. I didn't even put it, to go to sleep mode. It's kind of like forcing you. It's kind of like it's detecting me that I sleep around, that I usually sleep around 10. So there's a time that I slept late, right? 11. It's already like sleeping on its own. It's turning gray, the sleep mode, and then it's asking me if you want to cancel that or something, and then it's gonna warn me like you kind of like have to sleep now. It's getting late. It will it will impact your overall health, and then it's tracking my sleep really ridiculously, especially for this, again, the energy. So let me tap on that one, energy, and look at that. So energy, more sleep, energy, it's checking a lot. Again, it's just all there. You can see that. Sleep timing, um, it's even tracking, like it's actually crazy. Heart rate variability during sleep, average heartbeat. Again, everything is in there. So I did not set this up. It's all there by default, right? In the evening brief. So what's happening is it's giving me this hyper awareness, right, for my health overall, that I'm now more concerned on how many hours I sleep, even the quality of my sleep, right? My rest. I make sure that I rest and recover from my workout. There's even a time that it told me that I have low energy, and it's actually spot on because I was sick. I was sick for 2 days because of my migraine and hypertension, and it's even detecting that. It says that my sleep, my heart rate pattern when I'm sleeping is abnormal. I need to rest a bit and decrease my activity. That's smartphone, right? So it's going beyond. So, again, I can talk about AI so much, right? But what I can say is that absolutely worth the money. There's a lot of things on the surface that you will look or you will easily see on mobile phones, right? Plainly camera, especially for Chinese phone, it's just like camera, camera, camera. The camera of this, we're going to talk about that next. It's amazing. But on Chinese phone, it's just like camera, camera, camera. That's it. But the things that we don't really talk about, you will only experience that when you're using the S25 Ultra One UI phone. It's just so much, right? And it's actually going to make your life better without even knowing it. So that's one of the value as well. So for example, on a 1,000 or 1,100, dollars money you have a cash, for example, you're gonna buy Vivo X200 because of camera. Okay, sure, it's really good camera. I mean, you can buy a dedicated camera, right, for that amount of money. I'm pretty sure it will be better, but what the heck? Okay, let's buy Vivo because you wanted the camera. And then what's next? That's pretty much it, right? There'll be another one that has better camera out there, and again, dedicated camera, it'll be beaten. And then you're just gonna jump aboard like, oh, Xiaomi 15 is better now, right? It's beating X200 because that's the only one that they kind of like offer, right? This one, it's kind of like iPhone. iPhone offers what do you call that? iPhone, like the world of iPhone, like ecosystem. So Samsung offering is assistance, right? It's kind of like a little bit of ecosystem because of my watch, but the assistance, being your personal assistant, I think is the best offering of Samsung. And if you've been using S25 Ultra, you would know what I'm talking about, right? I'm just using this for a couple of weeks. So after you use this for so long, it'll be tied so much on the assistance because it's really like a really great personal assistance. It's gonna be difficult to lose, right? If you change phone, you're gonna miss the now brief. You're gonna miss the health assistance. Checking up your health, being healthy, restfulness, right? Your workout, your activity, everything else. All of those will be gone just because you're kind of like looking for a good camera, right? So yeah, I think there's really more things beyond what we see on Galaxy S25 Ultra, and I think it's absolutely worth the money. It's a really really good companion. It's way ahead of my S22 Ultra. I'm just using that as a phone. This one is just a really really great personal assistant. All right, let me talk about camera. I'm probably gonna be quick about this, right? So now, of course, I'm not gonna talk technical about, you know, specifications, stuff like that, because I'm pretty sure you already watched those on some of the reviews before. This is different because again, S25 have been here for quite some time now, and a lot of bigger tech, YouTubers out there already broke those down and really, described everything there. What I will tell you though, the camera of this is really, really amazing for Galaxy, right? Or in terms of Samsung lineup, right? Because again, I've been using S8, S10, S20, and then S22 Ultra. Compared to all of those, of course, this is the best, right? This is the best. But I think there's still one thing that I don't like about Samsung's camera, right? Um, even given the quality that it's giving us, it's still looking, or at least I think it's art style, right? It's still looking like a mobile phone camera. So these are my dogs, right? So as you can see, it's really, really looking cool, but you kind of like you would know that a mobile phone's been used, right, in order to take those cameras. So I'm not gonna go deeper on camera here. It's not gonna. This is not a camera, review, but just to show you my own experience, they look like mobile phone camera, a really really high quality mobile phone camera. X200, right, from Vivo, and then Xiaomi 15 with Leica. They already have their own set of artistic, and even on the Xiaomi bigger sensor, which produces like a really good bokeh. So if you actually use those, it's kind of like hard to distinguish if the photo captured was taken using a digital or an SLR camera, like a mirrorless camera, or a mobile phone. And I think that's really, really good for those, right? However, for the quality itself, particularly the one that you're gonna upload in your social media, it's going to be great as well. Is particularly on the zoom. Back in the day, on I think on my S20, when the zoom 100 times zoom has been introduced, same as the AI, I thought it's gonna be like it's gimmick, right? It's just that I'm not really gonna use that. But guess what? The zoom on a camera is like the most used mode, right? For me. When I'm taking a picture, I always zoom it because it looks better, right? So you can take a picture like that, it's fine. It's gonna, it's gonna look like a normal picture. But when you add a little bit of zoom, not only you're gonna remove the shadow of your phone, right? Because if you're taking closer, you have a shadow. But if you put it on zoom, you're not gonna have that shadow, and then the details will be absolutely good. The bokeh in the background will be much more, so it's gonna look artistic. And then when you shoot it like that, it's gonna look awesome. So I think that's one of the strength of this one. Ultra wide, honestly speaking, I don't really use ultra wide that much. So that's the new thing on this one. However, for macro shot, ultra wide is the best because that's the one that you can use really, really close. It's ultra wide. So I can see a great, details and color science on that one. But overall, the zoom is amazing. That's what I just really missed when I'm using the Xiaomi 14 Note. When we go to my kids, recognition or something, I can always like zoom this even in the video, and it looks amazing. About the video, I was actually genuinely surprised. I did not realize that the S25 Ultra, even like Samsung in general, can actually beat, right, or even be on par with iPhones videography, because iPhone is just really really cool. It's up there, right? It now depends on the user, right? The good thing about iPhone, it's very restrictive. So when you use it like that, it's kind of like Xiaomi photo mode on the Leica, right? Vibrant or Leica artistic or something, or even the X200. They're already like setting up a particular artistic design for you, so it's always going to be beautiful, right? iPhone is very warm, and on the video it feels like it's very high bit rate, right? When you're capturing a video, regardless if it's 30 fps or 60, it's very good bit rate. So it looks like professional camera right away. The Samsung right now offers log mode, right, where you can capture, a full information, kind of like a gray, muted colors, and then you can automatically correct that even, which iPhone cannot do, by the way. You can do that on the phone, automatically correct the color, or just go to editor like DaVinci Resolve, which I use, and grade it there. Video of this is pretty cool. It can now capture 8K, although I don't know if I will ever use that. I'm not gonna use that. I'll probably use 4K 60. I find out really cool. The reason, like what I said, the reason why X200, I think this is just my own opinion, right? The reason why Vivo X200, um, even probably Oppo, right, and Xiaomi, even iPhone camera looks better, or pictures taken of them looks better, because they already like setting up an artistic design for you. So for example, for X200 for Vivo, you will notice very saturated. It's very contrasty. It looks like an Instagram filter right away. So it looks good, right? Now, along with the Xiaomi 15 right now, not to mention 1-inch sensor, bokeh depth of field. It's particularly the Leica filters, they're legit filters, right? So that's the thing. They have filters, right? Pre-installed. So it's as if you have like a digital camera or a mirrorless camera, and then you added like a filter or like a really good lens, right? Or something that you can use in order to make effects. So that's basically what those phones offer. What Samsung do here, it's just giving you options yourself, right? So it has a pro mode. So Samsung's like, we don't really want to control you. Here are all of your options. Go nuts. That's the thing. Here are all of your filters. You can even download new filters. You can even use your own, you can even create and use your own filters. If you have some colors or some old pictures or whatever, you can select that and use that as your own filter, right? That's just bonkers. So I think that's what Samsung is doing here, right? Taking photos is almost like you're taking raw, right? Nothing else. It's kind of like the log mode, right? So Samsung is doing that right now, allowing you to take pictures and then go nuts with it. Right? Apply filters afterwards, before taking the pictures. You can do all of those. It's just giving you freedom of doing stuff. That's why Samsung is for power user, right? Samsung is for power user, for people who would know and who would have the time to thinker, who would have time to search the internet, what are the best camera settings and try some stuff and really like, mix and match stuff and then get the most out of it. And Apple is for the direct opposite, for people who don't care. They just grab a phone, take a picture. Vivo and iPhone, or Vivo and Xiaomi, if you think about it, they kind of like going to the iPhone, they're kind of like heading to the iPhone way, not really allowing you so much right away. It's still there, right? It's kind of like combined with Samsung. However, they're like forcing some parameters to be used right away. For example, in Xiaomi, again, they now have Leica Vibrant and Leica Artistic. They don't have like a normal one, right? They don't have like just a flat normal. If I were to describe it in audio, Samsung is giving you like a flat equalizer, right? And then you can go nuts with it. It's kind of like a what I called it, like a studio, flat version, like a monitor version. And then Xiaomi is giving you like Dolby Vision right away. Oppo is giving you like HDR Dolby Vision right away, like iPhone, and then you don't have much choice to edit that afterwards or before. For example, for people that doesn't like a vibrant or artistic, they'll really have to feel around to find ways on how to do what they want. But all the time out of the box, it will just be like that, right? I think there's merits in doing that because again, for a lot of people, like an iPhone, when you pull it up like that, take a picture, it looks absolutely gorgeous right away. It looks like Instagram artistic already, which is probably most of the time that's the goal anyway, right? That's why Xiaomi and Vivo are doing that. However, Samsung's just like, nope, just capture the rawest, right? Rawest or the basic of the basic flatter image that you can do. This is the best that we can do, and then you just go nuts with it, right? Edit it, whatever you can do in post processing. So that's the difference. Camera is not particularly bad. It's actually really, really good, but it's just not forcing you or restricting you to use something else. It's just giving you so much option. 250, 12 megapixel. All right, so final thoughts. Of course, there's a lot of thoughts. I apologize. I told you, there's a lot of information that I can really, really break down on this one. But final thoughts on this one is just amazing, right? Samsung is still the king, and I think it's the consistency. It's just not one stronger on one thing. It's stronger on everything. Think about it. So it has wireless connection. It's not fast, but it's safe, right? It's cool. Most of the time, you're going to charge your phone anyway on sleeping. Why would you use a faster wireless connection there or wireless chargers? You might even turn that off on your Xiaomi and your other because you're going to sleep. You don't want to charge it so fast because it might just be too hot, right? And burn your pillow or whatever, right? So I think Samsung's really paying attention on a lot of small details compared to other ones. Just like it's like a basic Chinese strategy. As a matter of fact, if you think about it, for Xiaomi, Vivo, they're they're perfecting something on a surface that will attract people, right? That's how Chinese product actually do, like on cars or something. They will do some stuff really good that will make you overlook some other stuff. So for example, on Xiaomi um 15, the new one, it's really good, right? But then when you go to the widgets, it doesn't have like the widgets are not alphabetically arranged. Like, huh? Why would you like that? What if you install like thousands of widgets? You have to scroll everything there. Samsung perfected even the lit list, the details that you have. It's all giving you an opportunity. It's all giving you options to do things perfectly, which is really good. So it it's kind of like iPhone already in that matter. So I think for value and for overall thoughts, Samsung is still the king of consistency. Right? That's probably the one that I'm going to say. X200 from Vivo is really good in camera, and that's it. It's just another Android. Xiaomi is really good in camera, Xiaomi 15, and that's it again. It's just another Android, right? iPhone is kind of like good on its own ecosystem. What Apple has is the name, right? The value, the resell ability is really good. So Samsung, if you think about it, it's good in everything, right? The resellability, the value, the aesthetics, right? uh the premium feeling of it, right? The camera array really good. The battery is just 5,000 milliamps, but it's not 4,000, right? It's not low. And again, Snapdragon 8 Elite, especially for Galaxy, is also efficient. So I cannot even kill this guy. Like, it's I can reach like nighttime with still like 30% battery. It's very efficient. Like I don't need 6,000, 7,000 of battery if this 5,000 can do the job, right? It's really cool. I just need like a one full day. And again, I'm a power user. I use this all the time. But I think that's the deal, right? If I have final thoughts about it, Samsung, I think, or S25 Ultra is the most consistent phone out there, the most consistently good flagship phone out there. It doesn't really have any cons, right, or any huge amount of detractors, right? S Pen doesn't have Bluetooth. None of the competitor has S Pen. Right? It's actually an advantage for Samsung to have S Pen. iPhone and everything else doesn't even have stylus. So what are we talking about, right? And camera is not as good as X200 or Xiaomi. It's very good, right? Depending on the user, if you're a photographer, if you know what you're doing, you might be even getting better pictures than others, right? Depending again on how you use it. And again, this is not a camera; it's a cell phone, right? So if you're really into the camera, you might want to purchase your own camera, right? A dedicated camera one. Video is really good this time, in par, if not better than iPhones and some stuff. Display is just amazing, right? 120 hertz with anti-glare is still the best Android flagship that you can ever have. But that's all for today, guys. Let me know down in the comments below if you have any questions, any concern. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed yet. I unbox and review stuff like this. I love gadgets, so whenever I have one, I just unbox it. This is not a sponsored video anyway. I just like to show you and share to you my overall thoughts for this new phones. But yeah, let me know down in the comments if you have a question and a concern. But thanks so much, guys, for watching. Stay safe and see you on my next one. Peace.